So after widening the doorway, I now have the challenge of repairing the hardwood floor. And I think the correct way to make this repair would be to remove the flooring and then come back in here and stagger it and blend it in and feather it in. But I'm going to try first just to cut sections and fix this part and then a little piece here. And because I can always go back and do a drastic floor tear out later. But for now, I just want to see if I can just fix this simply and quickly, without doing any major cuts. So the first thing here, this piece of wood has actually had a piece removed, so I'm going to have to make a careful measurement here and get a piece to drop in there, and then the rest of these are full width pieces. So the reason I'm going to attempt to do the hardwood floor repair myself is mostly to save the money and maybe learn a little something. I contacted a flooring contractor. I've used them before, and they quoted me about $800 or $900 just to fix that one little spot that I'm dealing with since I widened the door opening. And the problem with that is I've got another door I'm going to open when I finish with this room, and so that'll be two of these locations that need to be repaired. And so if I do call them out to do it, I'll want to call them when they can come and do the entire scope of the work at one time, and I have to come again, and then 6 months later come again for the other one. So in the interim, I just decided to try to tackle the job myself. I'm not going to try and do it like they would. They would have pulled the floor up and feathered it in, so the seams don't align. I'm not going to try that myself. I'm just going to try and be like a doctor and first do no harm. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to cut the floor that's there in any way. I am going to sand it a little where it's not sanded. And I'm just going to drop in some pieces of this red oak flooring. The contractor was kind enough to provide me with several sticks of this, and probably figured, well, surely I'll call them later, after I've tried to do the repair myself. But I might do that. I sure might. But for now, I'm just going to try and fix it myself, and I think I can pull it off. I think the hard part is going to be getting the finish to match, since that hardwood floor was sanded and refinished back about 30 years ago, and I had it done back then by a hardwood flooring professional, and they did the entire house. And so it's going to be hard to match some new wood and finish to something that's been there for 30 years. But I'm going to give it a shot and see what I can do. And in the end, I might actually, when I get done with the project, and if I'm not happy with it, I can always call those guys in, and they can, I'm sure, do a phenomenal job of fixing it. And since I'm not going to destroy the wood in any way, it's not going to make the project any bigger or harder to do. And I think the worst part is the way I'm going to do it. There'll be 3 boards in a row, in the worst case, where the seams will line up. And that's a definite no-no in flooring. You want to stagger your seams so your eye's not drawn to it. And so that's something I'm willing to accept that. And I'm going to try my best to blend those seams and maybe fill them with wood. And I do my best to make that go away. But I'm sure it'll be there. And probably I'll be the only one that notices it. We'll see. So I'm going to get started on that. I'm going to try to do some accurate cuts with this redwood oak flooring and drop that in and see how I can go along with that. And if it doesn't work out, I might call the pro. So on this other piece, I need to remove this bottom part here so it can fit down in the hole. So I'm just going to saw that off right there. Set the saw up to do that, using this piece, I guess. So I'm in here, I've got the 2 pieces cut, and I'm going to check and see. I'm going to work on this one here first. So now I'm going to work on this other side here. So now I'm going to address this little splintered piece that's come up from the old floor. I'm going to work some glue in there. Then I've got to put a piece of wax paper down here. And I'll get this lead brick I can set right over that repair and then press down. And I'll let that cure. So these next cuts will be relatively simple. Just 3 straight pieces of wood here. So I'm going to carefully measure these and see what they are. And so because I'm dropping the repair sections of flooring in between 2 existing pieces, I can't make use of this feature here. I will, however, keep this one. But since I can't use this one, I think I'm going to just begin to take my pieces of wood from this end of the wood, or from this end of the board. So the first thing I'm going to do is true this cut up here on my compound miter saw. So I've got 3 more pieces of wood cut, and I'm going to go ahead and try off fitting this one. This first one here is right here. What I'm going to do is remove these shims. Not all of it, I'm going to leave a little there. So my first move here is to cut the, got to do a 99 by 19 piece. I want this piece. And so, let's see, I'll cut it upside down, I guess. So I'll dial in the 99 here, or actually the 19 is what I want first. I'm using the back of the projection here of the calipers. So I got the final piece of the patch cut, the 99 by 19, and got a shim down in there. Go ahead and put some glue in there. And this, so far I'm happy with how it's worked out. I have to let this cure overnight, and then I can sand it, and then begin the, probably what is probably the tricky process is blending it with the stain. And I think I can do that. So let's see here. I'm going to try to wedge that tight. To get those things tight. See what can I put under there. That might work. Just needs to hold it for 30 minutes or so. All right,